Buddies, the High House, the Opera House in Arcola, Blake Corbin, our director for that episode. What an amazing experience. I mean, Buddies is such a warm and welcoming place. You know, what can I say? It's an old opera house nestled in the middle of the prairie. It's tiny, it has history, it has story.
Buddies was a really interesting place because it had been so many different things. I mean, it was one of the heritage buildings in Saskatchewan, so it's been around since almost the birth of the province. And, you know, I think that space, it's been transformed into a number of things. I mean, it was an opera house, it was a town hall. I mean, there's reports of having holding cells underneath. It is now a restaurant and a pub. So, I mean, there was a lot of different energy that was there, but there was a spirit there that was being quite protective over certain areas, or perhaps didn't like women. But I actually felt the opposite. On our first night of our investigation, you know, we were dealing with a spirit that had such an effect on one of our guests, and you know, really brought up the subject matter of substances and how that can affect our spirits. You know, you're not supposed to go to ceremony when you're on substances because it affects you. In our first investigation was that substances were involved and they did affect. To see that in action really affirmed to me, you know, we don't mix certain things, especially when we're opening doors in a spiritual realm.
The investigation that we did there happened on a full moon, and one of the properties of the full moon is it's a time for relatives to visit us from the other side, from the spirit world. And I feel like that night, certainly some of the relatives and former connections within the bar were coming through as we investigated, as we delved into the story of the High House and Buddies.
Wow, we're getting these crazy experiences of spirit showing us that they do have effect on the physical. You know, having our guest have his knees knocked out, like that is shocking. It has the potential to make you feel really fearful. But I think, you know, that really outlined that me and Jeff have a really great sense of teamwork. I felt really secure. You need to be a really secure person spiritually if you are going to venture out and do work like this, because if you're not, it opens you up to so much, and that is really dangerous. That is really the risk that we're playing with.